All right, enough dancing to Duran Duran. Funny story enough, I remember Duran Duran. It was my sixth grade, and I was at a slumber party, and I loved Prince so much. I was into that genre so much. But all the preppy girls, the ones that all wore Banana Republic and Gap that I couldn't afford, loved Duran Duran. And I remember there was a fight that happened at the slumber party between me and the group and another girlfriend who also liked Prince. And we were demanding to play Prince. And they wanted to play Duran Duran. And so we locked ourselves in the laundry room. Yes, that is what happened. So that story is always what Duran Duran makes me feel, is the time that I isolated myself in a laundry room because I didn't want to give in to the crowd of Duran Duran. So thanks so much for sharing your time with me. My name is Christine Dwyer, and I am going to help you with hopefully closing out your month with some great success, but also lining up your future months with some great success. And I will give you some hard, tough love. I mean, that is what I am known for. I really want to help people have success faster. And so sometimes I'll just tell you right to the point what you got to do. And sometimes what you shouldn't be doing. A Superstar Diamond 2 coach. I am actually the first coach in the network to create a Superstar Diamond business in one business center and also in the second. I've been a coach for almost 15 years. May will be my 15-year anniversary. Like, think about that. 15 years. Who's been in a job for that long? Let me know in the comments if you've been at your same job for more than 15 years. I have never in any of my jobs, none of them. I can't even, I would say, okay, I'll tell you my longest job. I now know it. It was because I loved it. It was when I worked for Shalene Johnson's company, Powder Blue Productions. I worked for her company for a total of 12 years before she sold it over to Beachbody. So that is my longest running job, actually. That is because I loved it. Well, that makes sense then, right? Okay, we got a lot to do. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go through and I'm going to make sure that you know what videos to share for when you are inviting people to check out what being a partner is about. And remember, if you see the word coach, just remember it's a synonymous word for partner. We're in transition of changing our brains to think more of that direction. I'm going to give you some food for thoughts in terms of how to position people checking out this business differently than what we have in the past. We're going to be going through that as well. Feel free in the chat to ask any questions that you might have. Thanks so much, Nat. So funny. Nat, aren't you on vacation right now? I didn't go on the Success Club trip. I did actually talk about it in my stories as the reason why I choose not to go on the Success Club trip every year anymore. I used to all the time, and those are the best trips ever. If you can make it happen, make it happen. Those are the best trips ever. But the two big reasons why I don't anymore is because I am such an introvert homebody. I love to just go on vacation and barely bring any dress clothes. Like, I don't even bring shoes. When we go on vacation now, I wear my sneakers. That's all I got to do. And then I bring a pair of slides. That's all. And I work out in my sneakers, and then the rest I don't ever. We like to be isolated. Plus, the other reason why we don't go is because my kids are in high school and middle school, and coursework is just so intense here in Texas. It's really difficult to pull them out of school during non-vacation times. So those are my reasons. Let's get going, guys. I appreciate you sharing your time, first of all, with me. I really do honor your time, and I want to make sure that you get what you need. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. But my suggestion to you is this, is try not to use the time of what we're working on. So if I have something that on the screen that I'm telling you to do, it's probably because I know that if you do it, it's going to help change your business tomorrow. Okay. So don't get stuck in taking that time to ask a bunch of questions that are not relative. So just try to stay relative to what we're working on. Okay. All right. So let's get going. In the chat, once I stop talking, I will paste in some of the links that I'm going to be talking about. But one of these questions did pop up in our team Facebook group, a girl asking, what video do you share when you want to share the partner option? And my advice always is this, and one of my coaches that I support, she's not my personally sponsored coach, but her name is Vanessa Maines. She answered the girls so properly because she knows this is the best way to approach it. Doesn't matter if you've been a coach for 15 years. I still never explain to anyone what coaching is or what they will do with it or that they will kill it. I never say those things. because plenty of times when you think someone could kill it and you told them they'll kill it and they never kill it and then they quit. That's just what happens. The people that you least expect, you're like, whoa, look at you, like coming out, crushing it. It doesn't matter what your personality type is. It doesn't matter who your network connection is. It doesn't matter how big of a following you have. It's a matter of what you're going to show up for and follow through. That's most important. But what is most important is that you at least have what's called a third-party tool telling people, go watch this video to get an idea of what this is about. And I have to always share this story, and you probably heard it 8 billion times. But when someone told me to check out coaching, I thought it was stupid. And I never saw the reason why I would ever do it. It's because they told me what I would do. They knew I was a fitness professional, and they said, you could sell supplements to your classes at the gym. And I said, no way. Why, first of all, would I pay a $15 a month fee just to get discount supplements when I have this beautiful GNC Gold card? I am good. And then second, I would be fired from the gym if I was pitching some products to the people. So I said, no. 1 year later is when I said, let me check it out. And it was because somebody else told me to check it out. It was my boss, Shalene Johnson. And she said, you should look into this. And I'm like, am I getting fired? Why did you tell me to go do this? And I looked into it. And then I was like, this is right up my alley. And I didn't see it for money. I didn't see it for rank. So you do what you're going to do. The reason why you're building, why you're going to build is completely different. And you may connect with the reason to write down your why. I didn't. I told everybody when I was getting started, you have to have a big why. You have to have a big vision. I didn't really myself, because I wasn't reaching for a certain money thing. I wasn't reaching for a certain accolade or achievement or an award or recognition. I didn't know any of that stuff because all of that stuff didn't matter to me. And I didn't understand it, first of all, because I'd never done network marketing. So here's what I'm going to just say. You're different than me. You might be like me. I'm more of to the point. If I got something that I love and I'm passionate about, I'm going to give it my all. That's it. I'm not going to half-ass it if I really love it. I really will put my all into it. If this is something that you really love doing, that's the way I look at it. But some of us need to have a strong reason why. And back in the days, you may be thinking, well, I want to quit my job. That could be your why. Or I want to be able to pay for my kids' daycare every month. That could be a why. It could be, I want to buy a big yacht. That could be a why. Whatever your why is, there's got to be it deep in you. I guess if I had to say what my why was, is I hated working for other people, quite honestly. Even though my job was with Shalene Johnson, there's still so much stress and pressure when you're working for someone else, right? I liked having freedom of control of time and freedom to do what I wanted to do. So that was more, I guess, if you will, a why. All right. You have to be able to point people to a video. So I've got these 2 videos. I'll put the links in the chat. Okay. So normally Normally when we do our power hours, we like to do this boost engagement drill in the beginning. We're not, because we got to get down to brass tacks, man. It is end of the month. And here's my tough love for you. I talked about this on my Instagram reels this week. I was talking about this with my friend in our voice memos this week. That's why it was so prevalent to me. Everything we are either going to do, have, succeed, or move forward is a choice. It's completely up to you. You either are going to decide to go all in. You're either going to decide to show up and eat that frog today. You have to decide to do what's difficult. It's your choice. So whatever your goal is, whether that is going to be a rank, whether that is going to be elite, whether that is to achieve Success Club this month, whether that is to just earn emerald for the first time, it is a decision and a choice. And in my opinion, I set no matter what's to it. I don't set goals If I've made a choice to achieve or do something, I am going to make it happen one way or another. Got to get creative sometimes. Sometimes people are going to do you some favors in the beginning of your business to get you rolling. Okay? So that's on you. This week, I kept saying to my husband every time I walked out of my office, I don't want to work today. I just want to sit on the couch and cuddle up in my blanket and watch my shows today. Like I really wanted to do that so hard. And I could have, but he didn't, because it's a choice for me to show up. It's a choice for me to do the things on my to-do list. And that's what I want you to think about. Your success doesn't have to be your success to be able to talk about it. So here's a couple testimonials, but you've got testimonials everywhere, everywhere. Success, no matter if you're brand new in the business or been in the coaching business for 10 years and still haven't jumped. Because there's plenty of people, I get these messages all the time, just got another one this past week saying, I've been a coach for 10 plus years and I still have never achieved the success level like you have, or so-and-so has, or so-and-so has. First of all, we're not in competition. What I'm doing is for me, what you're doing is for you, right? But what is success? Because I look at the joy of being a part of this business and I cannot imagine not. I get sad for the people that cancel, because then I just think they just removed this positive breadcrumb in their life. Because being a part of this community is a constant reminder to be better, do better, and help more people, isn't it? Does that have money attached to it? Only if you think of it that way. I don't think it has to be, okay? So start re-evaluating what you define as success. But you have a very successful upline. Some of us, maybe I'm not even your upline, but you can use my story, somebody else's story, but you know what? I kind of feel that like my story, I don't tell my story very often. First of all, I'm not a braggart person at all. And second is sometimes I feel that if I share my story, some people look at it as it's impossible. But it is possible, because I started just like you. I just signed up one day, right? And I asked someone, and I asked someone, and I asked someone, and they asked someone. That's how we all start. So think of it that way. All right, so what we need to do today is this. We are at the end of the month, and I wrote down things here. I wrote decide. I got to read my handwriting, phone, computer. Oh, yeah, I wrote this down because I was on one of Janelle Summers' trainings this past week, and she mentioned this, and I was like, yes, a good point to remember to tell people. I don't know how many times you're on your phone. Like when I'm in the Beachbody nutrition, the on-demand for nutrition app, I have a hard time finding certain things that I know is there, because the mobile display sometimes is different than on a computer. So the same thing goes with your social media. Make sure that you don't just use one thing. Use both, because you'll be shocked at what other features show up and you didn't know about. Things are laid out differently, okay? So make sure you do that. I wrote that down. Testimonial, list, circle. Okay. So here's what we got to do. We are going to be focusing. I'm going to give you, I got to put my glasses on. Seriously, you guys. Okay. Yeah. I wrote over here on the sidebar of my notes here. This is how I work. I've got all these ideas of how you can make the final deadline happen. Okay. So we're going to talk about that. But the first thing I want you to do is, do you have your list? Did you bring your list to this power hour? I hope so, because that's what we're doing here is we're going through our list. And my invitation to you is this. We're at the end of the month. I'm going to tell you straight. It's going to be very difficult for you to create a new invite contact on social media and get them to turn around to buy from you or sign up from you within a day or two. That is like a miracle to have happen with someone that you message on Instagram and say, hey, have you ever considered? That's going to be pretty much impossible. To make it happen this month, if you're still trying to hit your goals for this month, it's got to be warm market in some capacity. What do I mean by that? It's going to be your friends, family, people you know, coworkers, your hairdresser. It's those people. In the past, I've asked my hairdresser to get some beach bars or whatever it was. I remember one time I asked her, it was my old hairdresser, to get some beach bars because I needed to hit that goal. And she was like, totally, I could sell them right here at the hair salon. And she was fine with that. That's exactly what happened. But you're going to have to go to the people that you know. And guess what? It could be someone they know. So look at your list right now of names. Are these people that you just wrote down because you saw them on Instagram and they look like they'd be a good fit that you'll eventually ask? Or on your list, are these people that you know in some capacity? In some capacity. And I know many of you say, I've already gone through my hot list, my warm list. You've never gone through it because people's lives change. Their lives will change. That now might be the time. Okay, so we need to get right to work. Let's get right to work. We are going to go to follow up. We're going to follow up today because follow up is where you will have the highest of success to make it happen for this month. Okay, and we're going to work on next month as well. But follow up will be your highest of success. So let's go to a follow up exercise. Before I do, here's what I want you to think about, because maybe you said it wrong. Maybe when you first invited someone and they've been ghosting you, you're like, oh my gosh. Admit if you did something where you're embarrassed by it, or you totally were wrong, or you sent so much information or whatever. Just say, I am so sorry. I sent you so much information. I probably confused you. I just want to start new and say, hey, I heard this from John Melton this week on one of his Instagram stories. He says, you don't feed steak to a baby. And that is so true. You don't. Are you feeding steak to the people that you're asking to join you? Meaning, are you telling them about too many things that they would have to do or be a part of to be a part of this? Like, we've got a great challenge group, and then we got our Monday National Wake Up Calls, and then we've got these daily power hours, and then every year we've got a summit, and then you're going to commit. Like, there's too much. So let's boil it down. There's a big change in pace of thought processes and messaging with the opportunity. I want you to step back and look at each person individually and decide, let me keep it simple. What am I asking them to be a part of? And the simple part might just be this. You got a link. You can be an affiliate. If you love using pre-workout, just promote that you have a link to it. Just like everybody's freaking doing these days. Everybody's got a promo code and a link to something, don't they? So keep it simple. Don't pitch building a team to make the big money. Let's just get them in the door, okay? Let's start eating applesauce. Like, that's what we want. So let's now keep it simple and go to your follow-ups. Go pull up your follow-up list right now. These are all things we're going to do today, these invite stuff. We're going to come back to that. But let's go to the ghosted people. My suggestion is this. Is really look through your list and try to follow up with the people where you've moved past you just sending the video, that you maybe had some back and forth questions, but let's dig into following up. I need you to go through here. See how it says like follow up and dig through your DMs. I need you to dig through your Facebook messages, your emails, go through your share cards and contact those people again. Let's go to the people that have already been exposed and keep it simple and follow up and maybe create a deadline. Okay. Is your deadline March 31st at 11:59 Eastern Standard Time? Never. Never give people the real deadline, ever, ever. Always create another fake deadline. So could be Friday morning at 9 a.m. is your deadline for them to take action, to be a part of X and to be getting X. Let's get started. We're going to spend some good time on this follow-up. Okay, let's go. Okay, we are going to stop that activity. And if we move on to an activity where you're like, well, I don't have any customers, I don't have any challengers, I don't have any followers, I can't do this activity. Always go back to an activity that you have been doing or can do. Following Don Saladino, and he is doing an interview, and his interviews with Sebastian Stan. I'm not sure who it is, but anyway, he says here, and as a quote, 10 push-ups is better than none. True or true? One invite is better than none. Okay. Here's what I need you to think about though. It's the rule of 10. This has never changed in the 15 years that I've been studying network marketing. All the experts say this, stats say this. For every 10 people that you talk to, maybe one of them will follow through. So let's reflect back this past week. How many people have you actually invited, asked to move forward with you? That may be very telling as to why or why not things are not moving as you would expect. Just because you put up a cute reel does not bring in business. Okay? You need to do the back end stuff, the frog stuff, the stuff that is where I didn't want to do it. I wanted to go sit on a couch with my blanket this week. Like that's the stuff you have to do, which by the way, you can do, which I did do. At the end of the day, I sat on the couch and did those invites on the couch with my blanket. So you don't have to sit in an office to be able to do it. All right, we're going to kind of do a combination of a warm market invite. I'm not swearing with you by friends either. Sorry, a warm market invite from your challengers or your current customer base. So I want you to dig into your challenge groups, your Facebook groups, support groups, whatever you're doing, your BOD groups, your customer list, and we're going to invite. So here is a good post if you have someone in your challenger group, kind of a warm market, have you ever considered? And then here's another invite to get someone interested in joining your next thing. My advice always is to have at least something running every month. And I know that challenge groups can get monotonous, hamster wheely. And like I don't run every month a let's follow a clean eating and workout program challenge. I don't do that every month. The last time I did that, I think maybe was December. I'm doing it for April. But what I'll do is every month I'll run different kinds of challenges. So currently this week's challenge that we're running in my group to keep them engaged is meal ideas and recipe ideas. I broke down every day. Mondays was about breakfast, Tuesday was about lunch, Wednesdays was about dinner, today is about snacks, and tomorrow will be about desserts. That's what my challenge was for this one. One of my most successful interactive engaging challenges was this 10,000 steps. They loved that challenge. Just let's get 10,000 steps in and show your screenshot every day in the comments. And I had the most interaction on that. So don't always think you have to tell someone you're going to diet with me. And especially I personally don't connect with this one. You do again, whatever you want. 100 days, let's do 100 days. How many people will follow that for 100 days and be go-getting? Like that is really hard to do. So let's do this activity. I want to spend a good amount of time again on this, probably about 10 minutes, inviting. And if you get through inviting from your challenge group people, and you could have already asked them before, remember, every month is a new month. People's lives change like this. Last month, they could have been living fancy free and happy. And this month, their job may be crushing their soul. And they just need to find something else that they're passionate about to do on the side. Like things change. Things change. It may have changed for you. So let's spend 10 minutes going through your customer list and your challenge groups, or go straight to your list and do a brand new invite. Let's get it. By the way, I love that now I can do reactions on comments. Little things in Zoom, right? All right, let's move on. So we've got 15 minutes left. We've got a couple different slides here that I want to go through. So we'll have to divide it up equally. But here, before we do, let me run through that sidebar list that I have of, if you're just still trying to really get your goal happening for this month, obviously rank is over because that was yesterday. But now if you're moving towards Success Club, or even achieving just that 1 point, remember, you've always got that option. If you've got current customers that have BOD, remember to promote the BOD renewal. Don't always look to the month that they're renewing. So maybe somebody is renewing in May. So maybe someone is about to renew in May. Maybe reach out to them to promote that they renew earlier and you incentivize them with something. I'm just getting creative here when you are trying to find who else can I talk to? Okay, so maybe that might be someone to upgrade into a total solution pack, because maybe you're going to incentivize them to do this exclusive, unique group that is perfect for what they want. I don't send out many emails to my customers, and it's probably my bad, but I do it maybe once a month or so, not every month sometimes, but I just did this past time and I got one of my customers wanting to be a part. And I was like, hooray, someone replied. Like, that's always surprising and good, but you know what? Once they're in your group, they may also want to get more. I've got someone over on Instagram who wants to be a part of my challenge group, but she doesn't want to buy stuff. I just asked, are you connected with another partner or coach? And she said, no. So my thing is, I don't care. I'll just have her sign up with me to be her free coach partner and get her in the group. Once people get into the community, they start to see, ooh, I didn't know about that, like the product of the month, or, oh, they see what other people are doing for their workouts. And they're like, oh, I didn't know about that workout. Or, oh, that's a cool recipe. I never would have thought that. So you don't need to sell someone immediately on something. Sometimes it may be a longer process. Okay, what else do we got here? Deadline. Again, you got to set a deadline to get into the IT group or the IT training or the IT partnership or the IT incentive, whatever that is. Do the math for them. So I'm going to say this in a couple different ways. One, do the math for them. Like for me, if I have to think about things, then I just don't do it. Because again, if I have to think a lot, then I just move on. My attention span is so low. So sometimes you got to do the math for them. And I'm going to say it in two different ways. One, the price difference between, even if they use your $20 coupon code to renew at $179, just $20 more gets you so much more included. Why not? So do the math for them. That's if they use your $20 coupon code, brings it down to $199. The other math that you might want to do for them is the time of year. Now, I don't necessarily promote like get your summer body, but if you do, you do, right? Again, we all come from different pieces of cloth. What's important to you, what's important to your demographic, we all are different. So maybe, because we're ending March, and I'm from New York, so I know that when you start getting into spring weather, you start questioning, oh my gosh, you're going to start putting on shorts again. I got to start putting on that bathing suit again. Like I used to be a boater up on Lake Ontario, and we would spend the weekends in your bathing suit. And for me, at that time in my life, I would focus on, getting how many weeks ready before putting on my shorts or whatever. So maybe I do the math for them. Say, okay, we've got this much time before we're going to be putting on this, goal shorts or whatever it is. You could do whatever you want. Partner incentives. Again, what incentives can you always offer? Again, if this is your last minute, maybe you need to offer you've got extra collagen. Like I've got a bunch of extra collagen, which I'm surprised about because I use 2 scoops a month. So how? I don't understand how 1 tub is lasting me more when I use 2 scoops a day. I use 2 scoops a day. I don't know. I got a lot of collagen. So you can give away some of your extra stuff. Or maybe do a special, like make it sound special. And I'm doing lots of air quotes. Make it sound special that you're going to do this one-time one-on-one call with them to go through blah, blah, blah. Like start getting creative. Or find some unique training that you can forward and include them on that they can be a part of. And the unique training doesn't always have to be private. It could be something on YouTube that you just found, or something in our BODI library, like Petra's mindset. Like that could be sold as a unique training that they can get if they sign up by blah. They may not need to know that it's all included, right? If they get BODI. So start being creative. So now we got two things to do. Here's one. We've got 9 minutes. So let's just divide it up into two. We're going to do this one and we're going to do this one. This one's focusing on talking to fitness and nutrition influencers on Instagram. And this one is, let's just go to your social media connections. All right. So just go start to invite. And again, one of my favorite ones, and you could say coach or partner, whatever you want to do. One of my favorite ones is act as if. So if you know someone and you're like, oh, I feel weird to ask them if they'd ever consider becoming a partner, maybe just contact them and say, oh my gosh, your food is so good. You must be a coach or a partner like myself. How long have you been doing it? Like, I just act as if you are, and then that will generate questions. Okay, go. Okay, so I want to just add on this extra bit of activity so you can continue to do this. And my advice always is this, is don't feel that you need to have a perfect setting, 1 hour blocked off to sit down and do your work. The way I built my business was in little moments of time. I listened to podcasts in that 5 or 10 minute drive to the gym. And then I picked back up on that podcast 5 to 10 minutes back. So you don't need a full hour of open time to be able to do anything. When I go to pick up my daughter at the school, I have to sit there in the parking lot from 3:30 to 3:45. That's 15 minutes where I can do invites, follow-ups, or following, go searching for people to follow and add a message to. Sitting in that Hulu commercial during the commercials, because if you don't want to pay premium, then you're probably gonna have commercials, which there's too many to pay for. So you gotta decide which ones are the ones you're gonna pay for, right? I finally gave in to paying for Pika, the premium. All right, let's go to the other one. This one here is just another one, and this one's specific to more so pitching the affiliate side of things. So remember earlier I said how we don't want to feed a steak to the baby. Well, it's the same thing as when you're talking to people, signing up to be a coach or a partner and building to Emerald and being part of a team, like we just did a girl shot on the beach, like that to some people may not be where they're at. So whomever you're talking to, decide where they're at, research and see what they're currently doing. So if you notice, like if you follow someone and if you notice that in their stories, they're always like, yes, I've got a code. Like, don't try to recruit Danielle Natoni. She's the queen of, I've got a code for this. I've got a code for that. I got a code for this. Well, she's already coached, by the way. But what you want to do is go and start paying attention to people in your feed that are talking about, I've got a code for. Hey, you should get this. Because I work with a business mentor every month, at least once or twice a month. It's with a company. I've been with them for years. And we dissect the industry every month. So basically, every time I come to him, he's always like, what's new? And I'm always presenting and saying, okay, this is kind of the shift. And again, I pay attention, and what I'm noticing, and I'm just sharing this with you guys, and it may not be true, but what I'm noticing is back from the days of when I started to build, comparative to now, there's just too many options. There's too many options for you to make money online from back when I started to now. So I can't keep going the direction like I did earlier. Basically getting people in to be part of the team, build, residual income, yada, yada, yada. Kind of the way the world is right now is people are fine with a little bit of money coming in. And here's again what it is. Get them in the ecosystem, because then their eyes may be open to bigger things as they start to move forward. So get the applesauce in their mouths, not the steak. Because just making a little bit of 25% commission off of a tub of Recover is probably more commission than they're making off of that skin cream or whatever that they're promoting. So start thinking of it that way. If someone that you see in your feed, so take a screenshot of this because we got to end. I got to go to my hair appointment. Pay attention to what's going on in your feed. Start thinking about easier. Let's just make it easy for people. Let's not make it hard and give them a whole assignment homework list. Let's not tell them they have to be on the Monday call. They don't have to. Let's just start moving them towards seeing some success. And that will get them in the ecosystem. So take a screenshot of this. I can't see. Why are my eyes are blinded here? Screenshot done. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Nat, you're always so great. I love you some, Danielle. All right. Thank you guys for being here. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. We got the Fitzpatrick team next week, but I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.